Hey, how y'all doing? All right, that's good. I am back, and we are back for another review of Tyler Perry Sisters, episode 13 of season 1. Just get into the shirt. I know you like it. It's okay. I got it from a Etsy shop that is no longer an Etsy shop, so sorry. Yeah. Moving on to the review. We are in the aftermath of the preacher's wife committing suicide at Karen's shop. At Karen's beauty shop, in her chair at the salon. And Karen and everybody is freaking out, and Karen is, physically just in shock. And she don't really know what to do. She's frantic, and everybody's trying to get out the way, and she's trying to the only thing she's really concerned with is scraping the lady's blood off of her. And, just moving, just getting out of there and recomposing herself. We move on, and Maurice introduces Sabrina to Javier, which is going to be the third party that's supposed to trick Calvin into telling us that he's really gay. Not really sure what that plan is. It's haphazard at best, but yeah. To offer, Javier is the guy that's supposed to offer the threesome to Calvin to see if he's really gay or to see how he would respond. And the Calvin shows up at the bank, and he wants to invite Sabrina to dinner. And Maurice invites himself over to, and Maurice invites Calvin over to the house. He was like, hell, everybody else is already having dinner at Sabrina's. You should come with. All right, boom. Now everybody's going to be at Sabrina's house at some point for this threesome setup fiasco situation. Wonderful. Moving on. We're at the airport, and Zach is freaking out over that girl saying that she's possibly pregnant. Saying that she is pregnant. And Danny is basically telling him, like, you need to tell Karen before I tell her. I'm going to give you 24 hours, and I'm going to let her know what's going on. Then one of Karen's employees calls Zach and lets Zach know, like, Karen's headed to the hospital. She's okay, but there's been an incident at the shop, so everybody's headed that direction to see what exactly is happening with Karen at this point. And yeah, so everybody's headed in that general vicinity. Vicinity? I guess that's the word. Vicinity. Everybody's headed that way. Everybody go to the hospital to see what's wrong with Karen, or what happened, what may or may not have happened to Karen. Alright, so Andy calls Sabrina to tell her what happened with the meeting and the confrontation with Jasmine and Gary. And during that conversation, Gary shows up at the door, and he apologizes for putting her in the middle of everything, and that Jasmine won't be bothering her again. And he tells her that him or Jasmine won't be bothering her ever again after he says what he needs to say to her. And then once he spills his guts yet again, he gets upset that Andy isn't responding to his anticipated He anticipated a response from Andy. She did not react in that way to him spilling his heart and wanting to be with her and all this whatever again. So now he's upset yet again because Andy has not responded how he wanted her to respond to him pouring out his heart. And so he gets upset. He's about to leave, and yet again Andy's begging him, no, don't leave, we can talk about this, blah blah blah, woo woo. I don't know what the infatuation is with Gary. Even though I think there's a lot more to the Jasmine's piece of the story. Like, I think Jasmine is also somewhat manipulative in some of the situation. However, Gary was still married at the core of all of it, so you're still a problem for me. Okay? Alright, good. Alright, so he lets Andy know, like, we don't care if Jasmine sues you and you're disbarred, because I can take care of you. You can stay here, and Andy doesn't want that for her life. So Gary is yet again in his bag about the fact that Andy is not responding the way that he would like for her to. Boy, go play in traffic. Blindfolded. Thank you. Moving on. So Danny and Zach are headed to Karen, but along the ride, Danny basically has to get him together because he seems to be upset that the grocery store dude, never remember his name. The grocery store dude's wife killed herself in Karen's shop. Slow down your speech. Alright, so Zach is upset that the lady killed herself in Karen's shop. He feels, okay, Karen, your relationship with the grocery store dude is much more than you would lead me to believe. Why? Because why else would this man's wife commit suicide? Because of your interactions with her husband, ex-husband, soon-to-be ex-husband, whatever the situation may be. again, sensible question. It does make sense. You know, if y'all weren't as involved as you say, why would somebody go so far to take their lives, right? But Karen also Danny also gathers him in the car on the ride to Karen, letting him know you don't have a lot of room to be upset because we're all in this situation. Well, we're all, you know, dealing with the Karen situation because you decided to cheat on her. Not once, but multiple times. And I think gave her STIs or STDs at some point. Possibly. Probable at this point. So, if you had kept your dick in your pants, she probably wouldn't have made grocery store dude and y'all would be living a happy, copacetic life. But you didn't. So, I guess you have to live with the ramifications. I can't never say that word right the first time. You have to deal with the ramifications that come with being a dirtbag. Wonderful. Alright, so, yeah, that is that. We'll move on, and Sabrina has made it to Andy's, and she is, Andy is yet again distraught at the thought of having to possibly lose everything, and she believes that Gary is telling her the truth, but she also thinks that he's still running game. Now, those two can't coexist in the same sentence, in my opinion, but okay, Andy, you just believe whatever you want to believe at this point, girl, because you're getting on my nerves as well. Either you dump him or you don't. Okay? I mean, I guess we wouldn't have a storyline for her, but I'm tired of talking about Gary because, girl, you better go over there and date that co-worker's grandson and call it a day. Okay? Can't be no worse than Gary. Alright, so while they're there, they get a call from Danny letting them know that everybody's headed to the hospital, so now everybody is further headed that way. Side note, I put that in my notes. I gotta let you know. Side note, Mr. Perry, Mr. Tyler Perry. This scene let me know that you are capable. You are capable of putting believable hair on people. I said that because Andy and Sabrina, they got the protective styles. They got that little Senegalese twist, passion twist, whatever y'all call them these days. Got that, I call them two strands. They got that little two-strand twist together. Danny has somewhat believable wigs. Karen, we're still on the fence about that. But that showed me, Mr. Perry, that you have the potential to put people in good hair. Hire some people and get them on staff to get these people's hair believable. Because ain't nobody out here being lawyers and doctors and business owners and they out here with what you have in them in. It's not believable. It don't go with the character. But that's not my business. But we'll get back to it. Alright, so Zach can't believe that Karen and the preacher didn't do anything according to what she says. Blah, 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 whatever. And then to compound the issues between Zach and Karen, once she sees the pastor at the hospital, she runs up to him and, you know, everybody's kind of enthralled in the emotion at the moment, and Zach gets upset because he sees her in the kind of like the little waiting area hugging the dude. They're separated from the rest of the girls and Zach, and so he's trying to get in there to confront the dude. He wants to talk to Karen, and he's just, you know, all in his bag, and the girls, you know, tell him, you need to catch you a Uber or a taxi back to the house and we'll just deal with this later. So he agrees, and Danny does let it, before Zach leaves, Danny lets it slip out to the girls, like, you don't have anyone to be married because you're possibly somebody's dad or somebody's baby daddy at this point. So they have let the information slip out to Zach, so now he's even more upset and storms out of the hospital. Considering he rode with Danny, I guess he's just gonna have to find him a way home, because his bike is not at the hospital, it's somewhere else, right? Alright, cool. What else? Karen and the preacher dude are talking, and he knew that his wife had killed herself, but he wasn't aware that it happened at Karen's job, so that, you know, once Karen let him know, that he becomes even more upset. He had no idea. A member of the lady's family shows out, and she kind of flips out and she smacks the preacher dude and lets him know, like, hey, this is why my sister killed herself. You pushed her to it. Look at you. It's just your mistress. Now she's upset with Karen. And she thinks that Karen and the preacher dude were sleeping together the whole entire time. Preacher dude, side note, preacher dude and grocery store dude are the same person. Don't know his name, but he's a preacher / grocery store dude. Got it? Alright. Alright, good. Alright, so Mark shows up at Sabrina's and he lets himself in with the spare key. And Calvin also shows up before Sabrina gets back to the house, and so Javier, Maurice, and Calvin are at the house. And Javier is trying to put the moves on Calvin, and Calvin's like, wait a minute, what is this about? Like, why are you coming on to me so strong? And somehow or another, he figures out that this is the plan that Maurice and Sabrina had put in place to find out, yet again, to solidify whether or not he is gay. So what he tells him is tell Javier, you know what, I do think you cute. Now that he's found out the plan, he tells Javier, yeah, I think you're cute. Let's get this party turned up. What the weed at? What the drinks at? Now in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, now he's trying to turn the thing back on Sabrina, saying, hey, you brought these people here to try to set me up. Well, now I'm going to turn the tables back on you. Now, if that entails knocking these dudes off in this girl's bed, not sure. But I think it's going to be a setup, and they're not going to be doing anything. It's just going to be a setup to see Sabrina's face. At the thought of knowing everybody played her, you know, they tried to play Calvin to figure out whether he was gay. Complex? I know. So we're back with the girls, and Danny goes to ask Karen, you know what, Zach kind of has a point. Did you sleep with the dude? And then Karen's like, you know, not right now, the same places at the time, but still the answer is no. And while they're there, Mark sends Sabrina a picture of him, Javier, and Calvin, you know, just having a good old time, giggling and cackling and drinking wine and, you know, all at her house. So now she has to rush out to see, like, what y'all choosing about? What's so funny? What's going on? Why am I not invited to the party? So, Sabrina rushes home and she hears a bunch of sex noises, just to storm into her bedroom and see Will know. Because that is what they decided to end the scene. So that has been my review of season 1, episode 13 of Sisters on BET. So I've made my predictions for the whole Calvin situation. I don't think he's knocking those people down in that girl's house. They probably just set her up just to see what her face would look like when it cracks. So yeah, we'll see what happens in the next episode. And until then, I will see y'all later. Peace.